What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home again. And this time, we're going to be talking about Trailer 2. So, announcer, cue it.
Round 2, fight!
Alright, let's get into this. So, we have a lot to talk about, apparently. So, before the trailer even starts, yes, before the trailer even starts, so apparently Tom Holland comes out and he says that there are going to be spoilers from Endgame in this trailer. Okay, I was like, okay, fine, cool, sure, whatever. Too bad for people who didn't see Endgame yet, but whatever. So the trailer starts and it already becomes so bad. They confirmed it. They confirmed what I said they were gonna do. They said, they did exactly what I said they were gonna do. They were gonna make Iron Man this fucking Uncle Ben figure for Peter, and they were gonna just say, fuck Uncle Ben, and they did it. They fucking did it. They confirmed it. I was right. I was fucking right. Again. See, Marvel is getting so predictable that even I can foresee the future, okay? I saw this shit coming back when Spider-Man Homecoming was announced, okay? Back when the first trailer for that fucking movie came out. I was like, yep, they're gonna do this Uncle Ben thing. And, yep, I was right. I knew they were gonna do it. They did it. Go figure. So, that's problem number uno. And you're gonna probably see this throughout the entire fucking movie. So every single time when we as fans talk about those when we make those jokes about Ironboy or whatever, it's because it's true. It's because it's true. And at the very end, I'm gonna prove exactly why through one fucking thing that Peter says in this movie. All right, so moving on. So, oh yeah, Spider-Man doesn't kill anymore, apparently. Remember in Endgame when he's like, activate instant kill, and he just starts like killing all of the fucking, like, you know, mindless clone things? Again, it doesn't matter what you say because Spider-Man doesn't kill, period. There is nothing to defend that. Spider-Man does not kill. So the fact that he even said that, I was like, okay, so now he just doesn't kill no more, huh? Like, this shit's inconsistent, okay? You know, Jon Watts, okay, I don't know if he even saw Endgame. Maybe he did. Maybe that's why there are going to be Endgame spoilers in this. And that's why it's entirely, basically, you know, inspired by that, apparently. So, oh yeah, by the way, the Russo brothers are no longer going to be directing any Avengers movies. Or any movies from Marvel in general. Yeah. That's happening, but I don't want to talk about it. Moving on. So, we move on to, so here's another thing about this movie that I want to point out. There are 3 Spider-Man suits in this movie. 3 Spider-Man suits. Now here's the thing. This is another example of how bad these movies are, these types of movies are. So, again, another reason why they don't know who this character is. Like, really, that's how you're going to get people into the theater? You're just going to have 3 different suits in this movie? You know, when you go back and you watch the Raimi movies, even when you go back and you watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies, you know, like, for example, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Yeah, the suits are a little different, but here's the thing. The core design of the suit is still the same. Go back and watch the Raimi suits. Like, the only suit that changed was in 2, and that was just literally the back logo. Literally just the back logo. Do you know why? Because they're not focused on, oh, here, let me give Spider-Man something flashy to wear. No, it's, let me focus on the character, let me focus on what the script needs him to do, and what I need to push through the narrative in this movie. No, the director apparently is like, no, let me just give Spider-Man something flashy to wear, so that, you know, people will go to the theater to watch this piece of shit of a movie. Yeah, so you got 3 suits in here. Yeah, cool, whatever, who cares? Alright, so moving on. So he hangs up on Nick Fury. So we get to a point in this when I was like, okay, that's something that Spider-Man would do. He would hang up on Nick Fury. But, here's the but, Iron Man just fucking died. So why would he, because Nick Fury was at the funeral, why would he just, hang up on him? Would it be about, something important maybe? No, he's like, I need to go on vacation, so fuck you, Nick Fury. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care if the world's in danger. I don't care if there's just, whatever the fuck is happening. Like, has this kid learned nothing? Has this kid learned nothing? Has he learned nothing from his experience with Thanos? His experience with that army that he fought? Everything he went through. Has he learned nothing? So when Nick Fury calls you, you pick up. You pick up. So that's when I'm like, no, okay? That's when I'm like, no, okay? Because he's went through shit with Nick Fury and the Avengers. Why the fuck would he not pick up? Why would he not pick up? Why? Because it's not Happy? Why? Because it's not Iron Man? Huh? It's stupid. It's stupid is what it is. So we get a little funny joke here where fake Flash, as I like to call him, getting socked in the ball. Someone just he's got his stupid little web camera thing, and then someone runs by and just right in the nuts. That was funny. That was legitimately funny. I wish I had more jokes like that. Okay, so apparently we know the reason why Nick Fury comes and, knocks out Ned and tells him, you're coming with me. So apparently, now get this, apparently, I shit you not, there are multiverses in this movie. Yep, that's right. Mysterio, Mysterio is from a different multiverse. Yeah. Let that sink in for a minute. And the reason why they say that there are multiple multiverses are opening up and people are coming in from them, the reason why is because of the Thanos snap. That's the reason why they're saying this is happening. Okay, so I have a few issues with this. Number one, you're telling me that Mysterio is from a different multiverse. Okay. Number two, are we going to see a different Spider-Man in this movie? Because if we do, I'm expecting to see Miles Morales, because that's what I'm waiting for. I called this shit also way back in Homecoming. I knew they were going to do this. They're going to do this. Everything that has been leading up to this, I have been predicting, because Marvel is not smart anymore. They don't know how to redraw my expectations. They don't know how to, make me actually, wrong about anything these days. They want me to be right 100% of the time, apparently. And unfortunately, I have to be right in the sense of how shit this is becoming with Spider-Man and the whole mythos of this, okay? So, what was Jon Watts thinking? Did he see Spider-Verse and he was like, I want to do that? And what is Spider-Man 3 going to be? Is Spider-Man 3 going to be where different Spider-Men come? Because guess what's going to happen? That shit's going to get old real fast. And nobody's going to care anymore, because you took something that was actually interesting, an interesting concept about the interest of the idea of multiple dimensions and multiple, characters from different dimensions and the same character through different dimensions. So you're gonna do this thing now where you're also gonna do this thing now where you just take other villains from other dimensions. Oh yeah, I forgot, because Marvel's not good at their villains, and they don't know how to bring in any more good characters that exist in their own MCU universe. So they gotta start bringing in ones, for example, maybe from Sam Raimi's universe, because, we know that majority of the good villains and the good characters were from other different types of dimensions, like, for example, X-Men, the old X-Men movies, or another example, the old Spider-Man movies, or hell, even the Fantastic Four movies, because, just fuck it, we're not going to say that they are already well established in this universe, or they're not established yet, so we're not going to redo the origin story and do it correctly. We're just going to say, oh, they're from a different universe. So they already have been doing what they've been doing for years, right? And the only one that's going to be okay for me is X-Men. they're probably going to do the thing where they do the multiple dimensions thing. They're going to bring in the X-Men. That way they don't have to change the actors and actresses. Okay, fine, fair enough, right? Sure, whatever. I don't care about that. But Spider-Man, really? He doesn't have a Mysterio in his universe? Really? He doesn't have a Sandman, a Hydro Man, a Molten Man? He doesn't have none of those villains? They're just all from different dimensions? What the fuck? This is stupid. Really? They're not even his villains. They're not even like there's gonna be there's no personal struggles with those, with those villains. It doesn't have anything connecting the villains and the heroes in this movie. The only thing it has is Mysterio and Mysterio and those villains. And Mysterio is supposed to be this good guy. And Mysterio's gonna help Spider-Man. He's gonna teach him how to do stuff. Mysterio, a well-established villain from Spider-Man's universe, is gonna help him learn how to be a hero. Really? Because we haven't gotten that from Iron Man, we haven't gotten that from Nick Fury, we haven't gotten that from Mysterio now. But yet, fuck Uncle Ben? Really? Moving on. So, multiverses. Yeah, that's a thing. That's gonna be a big thing in the MCU. You already know that. So, moving on. So, MJ. So, yes, they keep calling her MJ in this movie. And I'm about to explain to you exactly why. Not only because she doesn't look the part, but because she does not act the part. I'm about to explain to you exactly who MJ is. And it's going to get a little depressing. All right? It's going to get a little depressing. Okay, so let me talk about MJ, okay, real quick. So if those of you who don't read comic books, who don't understand anything about these characters, and who just watch the movies and you think that you know everything, let me explain a few things to you. MJ is such an important character in Peter's life, okay? I would argue with people about how maybe Gwen is his true love, or because I ride on the idea, I piggyback on Stan Lee and say, oh, because Stan Lee said it, so whatever, and because of the whole Miles fiasco. But when I think about it more, when I sit down and I think about it more, and I think about MJ as a character, I go back and I read the old Amazing Spider-Man comics, older Spider-Man comics. We get a huge introduction to MJ's character in the comics, and we get to see her life. We get to see how bad it is, and let me say another thing. As much as I loved Spider-Man the Animated Series and Spectacular Spider-Man, those shows never really did MJ justice. I mean, they gave her the personality she's supposed to have, but not the backstory, not the reasoning to why she is who she is. So MJ, the only form of media that got MJ's character right was the Sam Raimi movies or the comics. Literally no other interpretation has done this before. Only the Sam Raimi movies have actually touched on the original MJ origin story and about how she is. When she's a lot like Spider-Man. She's a lot like Peter. She goes to school and she puts on this mask. How she's happy and she's cool and she's this and she's that. But when she gets home, she's depressed. Like her father's an asshole. She just, it's terrible for her. Her life is terrible. And then when she saw Spider-Man on TV, that's when she saw him, she just felt so connected to him. And then and as the comics continue, as the comic books continue throughout the story, you realize how perfect these two are for each other, MJ and Peter Parker. You realize how perfect they are just simply because of how similar they are to each other, about how they have double lives, and about how they are just so different on the inside. And I completely forgot about that in the comics. I didn't remember it until literally last year. It's been so long since I read a lot of the original old comics. Go back and read them. They're still good and relevant today. They have themes and things that people will not touch on anymore. like the animated series or the Spectacular series, because it's just so depressing and it's so dark and it's something that nobody really wants to touch because it's such a, but that type of story is such a, dare I say, such a relatable story about how you go to school and you're such a different person, but then when you come home, like those two, Peter Parker and MJ, almost have the exact same lives, just simply because of that idea of that mask they wear. That's why they're just so almost perfect for each other. So I get that now. I understand why, you know, they pushed MJ and Peter originally back in the old days, because they just are just the way their lives are. They are drawn to each other that way, and it's perfect. It was just perfect. But this MJ, holy fucking shit, she's so bad. Everything about her is bad. Like, she's not even acting like MJ. She's just a bitch. She just plays a bitch in this movie. It's not good. And I guarantee you, there's not going to be any backstory with her. There's not going to be anything with her. It's just going to be, okay, here she is. You know, here's some things she says, and here's Peter trying to get with her because he's a fucking little horny bastard, apparently. It's stupid. And he has a thing for mixed women, apparently, now. Like, it's so, which is not a problem at all. I'm just saying that this is just, the way they're doing this is just not right, man. I just hate what they're doing with MJ. I literally just explained to you why this MJ, compared to the one in the comics, is a complete fucking utter disaster and should just be eliminated from the multiverse, because now there's a multiverse now. Give me the real MJ, motherfuckers. Like, that's how bad it is. All right. And then she just knows who, so Peter's like, so we get to the scene where Peter's just sitting there and he's like, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you something. And then he basically was gonna tell her that he's Spider-Man, I guess. And then she's like, oh, that you're Spider-Man? And it's like, what? What are you talking about? When MJ found out that Peter was Spider-Man in the original comics, it was such a fucking, like, whoa for her. Because the person she saw on TV who she was like, I kind of like him. It was the kid, it was the guy next door the entire time. It was such a mind-breaking thing for her. And this, it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing in this movie matters. Again, like, it doesn't matter. They act like it doesn't matter. And it does matter. MJ finding out that Peter is Spider-Man mattered. That mattered so much. And they just destroyed it. You go back and you watch the Raimi movies. Or hell, you go back and you watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies. When Gwen finds out that Peter's Spider-Man, it's like, whoa! For them, they're like, oh. Because it's important. Because it's such a big deal. They act like in this movie it's not a big deal. It is. Everything, every character developing thing, every single aspect of what should be in a film in general is not here. Jon Watts is such a bad director, man. And it's already bad enough that the Russos took that same initiative and they just start having him kill a bunch of people. It's so bad. They are just destroying. They are fundamentally destroying this character. And you all are just sitting there like, give me the money! Make it rain, motherfuckers! Spider-Man! Without any of the context, without any of the things that matter, without any of the backstories that matter. Nothing matters in this universe, apparently, for Spider-Man. It's fucking criminal. It's fucking criminal is what it is. So then we get to see Mysterio as a role model. He's talking about how you need to sacrifice yourself sometimes, blah, 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 blah. So Mysterio might end up dying in this movie. Who knows? Who fucking knows at this point? I don't fucking know. That's how annoying this is. I'm still on my thing about how Mysterio should be the villain at the end because, you know, he might be using his holograms or whatever for Sandman and all the other shit and the special effects. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Wouldn't that be more interesting? Like, oh yeah, the Sandman, the Molten Man, the Hydro Man, they don't exist. It was all just a delusion, right? Because if they don't do that, oh, there's nothing saving this film. Holy shit. Okay, so then we get this quote. Remember how I was saying they fundamentally destroyed Spider-Man and how he became Ironboy in this new MCU shit? Yeah, confirmed just by this one line that he says at the end. He says, "The world needs the next Iron Man." The world needs the next Iron Man. So, you've gone through this arc of, oh, at the end of Homecoming, oh, I'm Spider-Man, I'm Spider-Man, I'm Spider-Man. Now he's like, the world needs the next Iron Man. What? So everything in Homecoming, you just disregarded. Everything in that movie. All the character development, everything. Just gone? Everything. Gone. He's like, oh, the world needs the next Iron Man. Really? Really? Okay. That's how it's going to be, huh? Alright, that's fine. Well, nothing else for me to really say about this terrible piece of shit. This shit's going to fail. I actually saw the trailer before I did this video. I saw it 3 times. The second time I saw it, it was at 6,000 downvotes. And now it's at 6.5 thousand downvotes. Literally within 5 minutes of me refreshing the video. The fans are starting to wake up and they're starting to realize how terrible Jon Watts is a director, how terrible Sony is producing this movie, and how terrible that this is all becoming for Spider-Man and all the characters surrounding him, about how they're all just fundamentally destroying everything around Spider-Man, everything that's supposed to be Spider-Man. They're just destroying it. They're destroying the legacy of Stan Lee. They're destroying his character. They are disrespecting. They are disrespecting one of the greatest superheroes in comics. Yeah, that's right. I just fucking said it. Even more than Superman, even more than Batman. Fuck you. I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.